Welcome to 1407 Gray Malkin Lane. This is the living memory of the X-Men. Today we're doing a little new segment called Chopping It Up with Fans. Today I got TikToker extraordinaire. She's really funny. Black Girl Marvel.
That's
no,
me.
Get it. Whoa.
That's me.
Oh God. Okay, so how are you doing today? How's your day?
I'm so tired. I don't know why I'm tired. Like I'm super tired. Like I think it's because I was out amongst people. I went to the theater today, so I think a lot of people zap my energy. So
you know what? I'm feeling the same way. It's the seasons because we're heading into fall and like heading towards the end of the year. It's just like you feel a little run down a little bit because what is that? Daylight savings is coming.
Yeah. But see, I like the fall. The fall is like one of my favorites.
It is
because I like long sleeves.
Yeah.
Okay. I like sweaters.
The coat,
hoodie. You feel me?
Right.
Duster. Put a duster on with like a little line.
Like you could be mysterious if you want to.
No,
like
put the collar up. You know,
right? You're
on my Raphael walking around New York. You know what I'm saying?
Man, that was bad. Tell me why that was the best one. Tell me why that was the best one.
The originals are always the best one. Like the first three, like the trilogy, the first original trilogy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is classic.
Right.
It has its faults because come on, it's like older and it's not its thing. I'm not gonna knock the new ones because there are elements of the new ones that I actually enjoy. But the OG was my childhood. Like, that's just nostalgia. That's just
absolutely.
You know, there were like people actually in those suits. Like it's the whole thing, you know, like you gotta love it. Jim Henson was a part of it, so you know it was gonna be good.
Oh man, Jim Henson is that dude.
Yeah.
Like, his whole family, like his son came out with this show 20 years ago called Farscape. That was just
I heard of Farscape. I've never seen it before though.
It's better than Guardians of the Galaxy. Like,
no, I'm saying.
Like,
I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things about Guardians of the Galaxy. Like, it's not difficult.
No, but like there was puppets, there was politics. You saw like there was practical effects, and the ship was actually a living thing. It's nuts.
I dig it. I'm gonna have to check it out. I've been seeing people on YouTube recently, like watching it for the first time, reacting to it and stuff like that. So I might have to give it a go.
Oh yeah. Just just for it picks up later on, like you know how shows be like in the first season they don't have really that much of a budget, but as it
keep going, you see the production change.
Like, wow, better. They got money this year.
Yeah, they got money. Like, okay, that's how I feel about actually all TV shows. You can always tell when like the TV show is getting money and the characters are getting money because each season people look better and better. You be like, okay, you done went to the gym, you got that hair together, you're looking nice. Okay, that makeup look better, ain't caked on. Like, all right.
Like It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. One of the writers, the guy who plays Mac, he made his character like super obese just to counteract that, because he was talking about that, like around the third season, people started looking better, and he's like, you know what? I want to just make myself look.
I love that.
Opposite. Make us. He packed on like 50 pounds of like fat.
I like that.
It was. Yeah.
I like that. But the reverse of that will be Friends.
Oof.
When they transitioned from season 6 to season 7, Chandler went from being a little thicky to being really thin, because Matthew Perry, he has his issues with like alcoholism and stuff like that, so he bounced back and forth between being like really skinny and kind of big and going back to being skinny, and he fluctuated in his weight. But you can literally watch the finale of season 6 of Friends and then watch the premiere of season 7 and be like because what they did was how they ended it, they picked it right back up where they ended it. You know how people do that, like like it's supposed to continue, and it was like, y'all just film this because he's thin to the mug. Like he's
okay.
Thin.
I always wondered about that. Like back in the day, like when they do the season, the cliffhanger, do they film the entire episode, like that one and the other one, or do they?
Some do. I've noticed some do.
Right.
Because I can always tell by like what people look like afterwards.
Right.
But I know specifically in France, they couldn't have done it because when they went back to like pick it up where it left off, he was visibly thinner than what he was in the previous season. But a season is like a year essentially. Like people almost like maybe like half a year.
Because
like half a year before the next season come out.
Yeah, like back in the day, it used to be like they used to have the show done by like January, and so like they took like 3 months off, and then like
something like that, and then they'll come back. So it's like you have time in between that, and people change. Like they get lineups, they get they people that went to the gym, they got babies, and all that kind of stuff. So like their bodies have changed. In this one, sometimes people have the forethought to continue filming.
Right.
And then sometimes they just be like, we'll pick it up when we come back. And if people change, they change.
Right. It's I always thought Friends, like I always got the feeling like the ladies, they're really close, but but behind the scenes they always trash talk the dudes. They were like, remember when Perry got off coke that one year? Oh my God!
Stop it! No, they all love each other.
Yeah,
I watched the Friends reunion on HBO Max. They all love each other.
Yeah,
and they don't get to see each other often, which makes sense because it's like 6 of us, and we got families and lives and other things that we're doing. So, but the women do talk more. I think the women talk more often than the guys do, though.
Yeah, I get that. But I'm just like, I can totally see the ladies being super catty. Like, it's like, okay, we're not going to talk about Schwimmer, right? Nope. We're not talking about that 30 years.
I feel like you get real catty when like you didn't grow up with them, because they were all in their like late to early 20s with each other. So they all grew up, and then they was on the show for like 10 years. So they all grew up together.
True.
They said they used to eat lunch together every day, like stuff like that. So I don't really see them being catty.
Oh no.
But I feel like, who I feel like is catty, and I've never watched this show ever in my life, and I don't think I ever will unless somebody makes me. Riverdale. I feel like that cast is probably real catty.
Oh my, they're all looking for the way out. They're like, one was like, oh man, I'm trying to get this Marvel movie. Another guy's like, man, I'm up for Nightwing. Another girl's like, man, like I'm just trying to do my indie movie or whatever. Like, other one's like, oh, I just want to go to.
I feel like they catty. I feel like they catty, and I feel like the cattiest one might be the Sprouse brother, because he has the most experience out of everybody. Like he was like, I was in movies with Adam Sandler. You know what I'm saying? Like,
hey, that's a really good. That's arguably Sandler's most serious work.
I love Big Daddy. Big Daddy is hands down one of my favorite films. And don't get it twisted though. I feel like I don't feel bad because like he's a millionaire and he's living a great life. Sure. But Adam Sandler has a nice body of work. Like when he started doing like stuff was still silly, like Bedtime Stories was still silly, but it had a great like plot. It had a great like underbelly of a story, right? Spanglish, he got real serious in Spanglish.
Man,
what I mean?
How was that the one movie where like you were kind of rooting for him to cheat on his wife?
You were, because you was like y'all belong together.
Like, I don't know.
Just dump her, bro.
And here's the thing. I was thinking about like, that would be a very easy adjustment because the kids already like her anyway.
Yeah.
The grandma will be on board. She's like, like, and she was telling girls like, you better watch your man.
Listen, that's an easy transition. Man. I like Spanglish. Spanglish was a good movie. I like it when my comedic actors decide to be like, let's get a little serious.
Right.
Because every now and again, they hit it out of the park. Yeah. I'm not saying you should stick to the drama. You should always go back to what, your comedy and all that kind of stuff.
Versatile.
Yeah, because every now and again, you might hit a winner. You feel me? And I feel like Spanglish was a great winner for him. And I feel like a good mix between his comedy and serious was 50 First Dates.
Oh, you know what?
Barrymore was just great.
I kind of skipped it. It was a little too cheesy for me. Like,
I loved it. I love the it's a new take on the Groundhog Day like trope to me, and I love that because people still do the Groundhog Day trope, but it's exactly the Groundhog Day trope. Whereas this one was like a mental groundhog, like a mental like thing. Like I love that. I thought it was dope.
I like the first time when it was never Wedding Singer with a
Wedding Singer was great.
So, all right, okay. I'm a little biased because the date they say in the movie is actually my birthday, so that's the best day of the year. So I gotta give it up.
Best day of the year is Christmas. So it's in the
Okay.
song. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Like it's in the song. So
Unless if you're Christian.
Not even if you Christian. Christians like the only ones that celebrate Christmas.
Yeah. I understand that, but
and most of the time, honestly, and Jesus wasn't even born on Christmas. Like I thought people already figured that out.
We know that, but it's already been done. Nobody's gonna change. It's like the building's already been built,
like,
and then
he wasn't
it's
born
down
on
the
Christmas.
street. Like, let's just keep it here, okay? We know it's over there, but it's here.
Need people to get together. I know Jesus was born on Christmas. Okay. All right.
Oh my God. Okay. All right, man. We're just this is cool. All right. So so I'm an X-Men fan. You're kind of how are you with the X-Men?
I'm a fan. I like the X-Men.
All right. So
I can't stand Jean Grey though, but I like the X-Men.
Okay, let's get into it. What's wrong with Jean Grey?
She's oversaturated.
How so?
She's the Lady Gaga of the X-Men.
No, that's Emma Frost. Emma Frost is the Lady Gaga. She's she's the basic white girl.
No, I'm saying this. There was a time when Lady Gaga first came out when she was everywhere. She was featured on everybody's stuff.
Yeah.
All her music was out. All we did was watch her, what she was wearing, where she was going, what she was doing, to the point where everything, to the point where you got tired of her after a while. You were like, yo, she's oversaturating the market. I'm kind of tired of her. And I feel like Jean Grey is the Lady Gaga of the X-Men. Every movie is about her love triangle. I don't care anymore.
It's not Wolverine's love triangle. She's just part of it.
It don't matter. It's about her love triangle. But to me, Wolverine has layers. Let's go the Shrek route.
Wolverine's a serial killer with a conscience.
But he has layers. Most serial killers have layers.
Have you noticed that every time Wolverine hooks up with a woman, she die? Yeah. So that's suicide by.
I mean, well, he is so you would say that Keira Knightley's Elizabeth Swann is the Wolverine of Pirates of the Caribbean because every dude that she has kissed in Pirates of the Caribbean has died.
Yeah, I think I can say that. Yeah, I'll be okay with that. I'm totally.
And that's fine. I mean, it's totally accurate.
It's true.
I'm just saying though, I don't like Jean Grey because the movies make me not like her.
Right, I get that.
I know she's more compelling in the comics. I know she is, but the movies don't make me like her because they always get her Phoenix origin story wrong. Even when they tried to get it right in Dark Phoenix, they got it wrong.
Oh, that was rough. The weird thing is, the only time they ever really had it right, or at least close to right, was the cartoon.
The cartoon
did
when they had four parts, and that's why it was good. 5 parts, and that's why it was good because they were able to flesh it out, and they wasn't trying to put it in a 2-hour movie.
Oh my God, it's weird. I've never understood that about script writers.
Mm-hmm.
There is this is
you literally have a
book.
But you have a blueprint. It's a blueprint.
Right. It's a visual screenplay. Just follow it.
Exactly. And that's why I like the MCU because the MCU takes from the comics. So you get that nostalgic, but then they're like, this is still our world.
Right.
So we're going to put our kind of stuff, like our spin on it, which I'm cool with because if you want the comic, go read the comic. It's still there. Right. It's still accurate. You can go read it, but this is I'm trying to explain it to people. The film is a new way to interpret the old information, and they take a little bit and then they give you a new story for a new generation.
Hey, it's fine. Hey, as long as the message is getting out there, that's all I care about.
Yeah.
I'm an old head. I remember a time where we didn't have superhero movies. We got one Batman movie like once every 3 years, and we were lucky to get it.
And nobody even thought that Blade was a superhero, so nobody looked at that as a typical vampire movie and not a superhero movie.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So trust me, I'm in that same generation. I'm in that same era when everybody lost their minds when Tobey Maguire became Spider-Man. Like, what? He's swinging webs.
And it wasn't even like, it's funny how like oh man, Tobey Maguire. Okay, Spider-Man story. I went to see the first Spider-Man movie, and I fell asleep. I thought it was super boring. I went back. I read Ultimate Spider-Man. I was like, wait a second, this is actually pretty good. So I went back and I'm like, I get it now. This is actually really good.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's like,
come on. See, I'm a movie person. I love movies. I've been watching movies since I was like a kid. Like movies I wasn't supposed to be watching.
Hey, those are the best ones, right?
You know, come on. And especially when you're young, you think you're getting away with something. You're like, oh, I'm doing adult things. Oh, you just being a stupid child. Just being stupid. So when Spider-Man came out, I knew who he was. I wasn't like versed in the comics like that, but I knew who he was just enough for me to like enjoy the film. But I enjoyed the film because it was just like a dude was crawling on walls, he was swinging around, he had on the suit, and I was just like, this is dope.
You wanted to be Spider-Man.
Like, I'm cool. I ain't want to be Spider-Man. I definitely want to be Mary Jane, because they made Mary Jane. Oh, they disrespected Kristen Dunst's Mary Jane in the movies. They made her a trailer park like crackhead. They made her their dad. Bro, they tried to retcon, like, now if you play the PS4 game, now they're trying to make Mary Jane like Lois Lane. Like she like worked for the Daily Bugle. What? The game gives you side missions for her where you have to infiltrate stuff as Mary Jane. And find clues. I was like, yeah, y'all better fix her, because Kristen Dunst was a trailer park. She was trash, bro. Even Norman Osborn knew it. It's like, he was like, Harry, this what you want?
Like, you sure?
Sure,
like, okay. No, remember Norman in the movie where he's like, Harry's like, oh, I love her. He's like, okay, you think a girl like that's with you for your personality?
Exactly. He's like,
you with her and bro her fast. I'm like, that is the most hardcore dad advice you could ever get. That's rough.
And Mary Jane was just there for it, like,
and everybody heard it too. Like,
no,
like nobody said, "Hey, that's wrong." No,
because nobody speaks up to the rich white man. So
oh man,
you can lose your job or something like that. And that's but that's why I like Zendaya's MJ.
Yeah.
I know she's not technically Mary Jane, but she is this MCU's MJ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Which I need people to understand, that she is not Mary Jane Watson. She is Michelle Jones.
Sure.
She is this Peter Parker's Mary Jane, or MJ, or whatever you want to call it. Sure. But this is why I like her, because like she's kind of like withdrawn, but she seems like a real person to me. Like I know this girl. I've met this girl before. I'm kind of that girl, you know what I mean? Right. I'm kind of withdrawn, but when I meet the right people, I'm like, I can be a little bit more peppy, a little more outgoing, a little bit more outspoken. But I'm kind of like, I'm just gonna chill in the corner while everybody do their thing, and I'm okay doing that.
You're watching everybody, and it's
I watch everybody. Yeah,
like
that's how she knew he was Spider-Man.
She figured it out really fast. Like, it's like either you're doing this or you're Spider-Man. Why would you think I'm Spider-Man?
Because you always gone when stuff happening and you pop back. Like, that's the thing about it. Like, the fact that nobody could figure out that that Clark Kent is Superman. I'm sitting here like, y'all really can't tell me that y'all can't figure out that Peter Parker is Spider-Man, because dude is always gone.
No, but here's the thing though. You're not no one would, come on, would you really think that Peter Parker was Spider-Man? Like, you would think it'd be somebody you think it's somebody else. It's ego.
No.
I think it's mostly ego.
I think it's I feel like it's ego with other people, but that's why MJ was able to spot it, because she has no ego. Right? She doesn't look down on him. She doesn't look down on him and think he's like trash.
Right. which is really funny because, like, if anything, you would think Peter Parker, like, because he's a science type, like he, like people. I'm surprised nobody's making jokes like, "Hey, he's a school shooter." Like, "Hey, you better be careful. He'll end up shooting up the school," or something like that.
No,
like,
he too nice for that. He too nice for that. He's not.
Yeah,
that
that's why everybody's like, "Hey,
you would think that MJ would shoot up the school because she's so like dark and her hair be messed up and she be like read books in the corner during lunch. You would think MJ would shoot up a school before you think Peter would. Peter got a friend. They hang out. Like, he seems social, so you don't think he'll do that. But MJ,
everybody's looking at his aunt. And everybody's like, "Dang, your aunt is."
Listen, that's one of my favorite parts of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Peter Parker is his auntie. Not only is she fine, because I've always loved Marissa Tomei.
Wait. Talk. Let's talk about Marissa Tomei for a minute. She's been fine forever.
Go back to a different world. She's always been good looking.
Oh my goodness.
She's always been good looking. She just got better with age.
Right. Her, Nia Long, Jada Pinkett,
Lisa Bonet, like everybody just got better with age. Just got better with age. I love Marissa Tomei. So I love the fact that they gave him an auntie that wasn't 1,000 years old. 1,000. Sorry, all the Aunt Mays of the past.
No, it's fine.
Sorry, Sally Fields, because I love Sally Fields.
Sally Fields good.
Sorry, Toby's Aunt May. I don't remember her name, but they were walking in the dust. You hear me? You telling me
he's walking with Jesus?
Come on, footprints right next to his. Like, stop. Because my thing, because how was it that, like, it was like, how old were your parents? My guy, that you end up having a child this late, that his aunt and uncle is 1,000 years old.
Okay, I think I have all right for that. I was thinking like maybe the Uncle Ben and like Peter's parent who's related to him, there was like a huge age difference because they had different dads.
Maybe, but they never. I don't even know if they specify that in the comments.
I don't know.
I mean, it's easy to get to that conclusion because you can be like, well, if it's my mom, like I'm assuming it's his dad's brother. I'm assuming because it's always the fathers that's an issue. Nobody cares about his mother. I never hear anybody talk about Peter's mother. So
her name was Mary, like, which is like
that's gross.
Like
I'm not. Mary. Listen, my daddy name was Gregory. I'm not dating no dude named Gregory. It's hard for me to like a dude. They got my brother's name. Like, I'm in love with Chris. I love all the Chris's in the universe of acting.
Yeah,
they all got my brother name. I will have to make up a new name for you because I'm not calling you by my brother name.
Like, you get a nickname. Like,
for sure. What's your middle name?
Like, my name's Christoph. Okay, you know what? We're gonna call you Top. Your new name is Top.
Listen, or Topher, or I'm gonna call you by your last name.
Like,
that's what Topher. I believe Topher Grace. His name is Christopher Grace or something like that. So like they just call him Topher for sure. But like I'm gonna have to, because like even in my mind, I love Chris Evans. Chris Evans is the ultimate Chris for me, right?
He's so underrated though.
He's the ultimate Chris.
No, I mean
if I ever met him, his name would be Evans. Yeah, I wouldn't call him by his first name because his middle name is my cousin's name.
Oh
no.
That's a nice name though. That's a nice little middle name. But
listen, Christopher Robert, that's a cute name. Christopher Robert.
Chris Evans, the first time I saw him was in Not Another Teen Movie. And I thought this guy was dumb funny. And then he can act in this little indie movie he did called London, where he's basically doing cocaine with Jason Statham for like 2 hours.
But that's what you do though. You start off with like the teen movies. It's a formula in Hollywood. Yeah. When you a certain age and you get in there, like if you 100 years old, like you just start off with these like independent like films or whatever. Yeah. But you start off with your teen movie, then you do a little serious indie movie. You know what I mean? And then you move on to like some romantic comedies. And then hopefully you get your blockbuster. And that's exactly the trajectory of Chris Evans' career. That's exactly what he did.
And it's also kind of funny, like, if you look at his career, he's been knowing Scarlett Johansson for a while.
A long time. Oh, yeah, they buddies.
They go back.
They buddies. They go back. They go way back. They buddies. They've been buddies for quite some time. And, like, they talk about that and people have always wanted them to get together, but I'm just happy they didn't, because it's just nice that people can be friends. Like,
right.
We ain't got to date.
People just have this whole thing where like, oh, you have to date. So like, this happens in X-Men too. Apparently, you can't have two people who are the same sex just be friends. They always have to be kind of like they're in love with each other.
Like low key in love with each other.
Yeah, like.
Well, I feel like everybody has to be heterosexual, straight, and then now it's like everybody has to be homosexual, gay.
Yeah, it's like
people just can't be people and just be around each other without there being like some type of flame burning that I like you.
Like, okay, Kitty, all right, like with Kitty Pryde, they say, she's in love with two people, like with two women. I'm like, okay, but like, and then then they talk about subtext. I'm like, okay, subtext is for people who can't write well, like.
But see, but my thing is, relationships in that sense, whether it's homosexual or heterosexual, does not have to be spelt out to a T for people. Right. If I do a scene and it's two women and they're holding hands, I'm going to assume.
Right, you're gonna wonder, but it
doesn't have to be spelled out like, this is my lesbian lover. We're like, it doesn't, like, let it be, because that doesn't happen in real life. You don't go up to a same-sex couple and then they're like, yeah, so we're gay for each other. Like, they don't do things like that, but people want to do that in movies all the time just to show that they did it. And it's like, no.
And you know the better. And you know the thing about it is, in real life, you know how you find out? You just watch them. You hang out with them.
Yeah, you hang out with them. You'd be like,
okay.
Exactly. Or like people will just open their mouth and tell you, for the most part. Like, it's not like a huge thing. Like, they'll just be like, oh, my boyfriend or my girlfriend. And you'll be like, oh, okay, yeah. And you just you go about your day. Yeah. Everybody's not like, for shame, I didn't know that you were, like, relax. It's they're just people are people, man.
I don't know. I don't like that on what you just said. I feel like your sexuality should be like the 8th thing I find out about you. Like, it should not be like, hey, I'm gay. Like, okay, no, we gotta hang out for like 3 hours.
But your sexual orientation, I always try to explain it. Your sexual orientation has, like, it is who you are, but it's not who you are.
Yeah, like, I don't care.
Right? Me being straight don't make me funny. I'm just funny.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do, like, it doesn't have anything to do with anything else. Like, it doesn't have any bearings of like the type of person that I am.
No.
Right? I can be a douchebag, but still, you know.
And, you can be a douchebag no matter what gender, whatever sexuality you are.
Whatever your preference, whatever pronouns you use, you can still be a douchebag.
I mean, look at Caitlyn Jenner. That's a douchebag.
Don't even get me started. Anyway, X-Men. As we were talking.
Let's go.
As we were talking about X-Men.
We get shots fired. No. Yeah. Okay, so I'm you're a movie person. I'm a movie person. Mm-hmm. Okay. How would you, if you were to do X-Men, mm-hmm. what type of movie would you make it as? Would you make it like a singular piece? Would you make it an ensemble? Would you make it like a self-contained? Like, what would be your what would you?
I would make it an ensemble, because you couldn't have X-Men without there being some type of ensemble, in my opinion. Right. But it needs to be more. I would have it more streamlined than it has been in the past. Right. So of course you'll have your focal, your lead, the people underneath there. But I would have a clearer story. I would have things be a little more focused. And I would probably take some plots. Like, I would take some plots, like some C or D list plots from the comics that didn't really get explored, or people don't really know, so that I could put my own spin on it. Right. Okay. And nobody can judge me. I mean, of course, there's always gonna be some nerd. It's like, this is not how they did it in subsection. Like, it's always gonna be something. But that way, because one of my favorite storylines is Storm and Callisto and the underground, that storyline. Yeah, with the Morlocks, that storyline was always interesting to me, right? Because everything in X-Men is very racially driven.
Right.
Just kind of, and it's like real life and the way that the world is going now, that'd have been a great story to kind of bring to the forefront.
Oh yeah.
They kind of tapped into it in X-Men 3, but again,
it
was about Jean Grey being
had good parts in it though. Had some really good parts in it.
Listen, all of the X-Men, all of it, like the first 3 Bryan Singer X-Men have great parts.
Yeah.
They have really great parts. But again, this was back during a time where like superhero movies were just kind of becoming a thing. Nobody really knew what was happening. Nobody really knew what they were kind of doing. They kind of did, but they kind of didn't. Yeah. They weren't sure how fans were going to react. And not knowing that it's diehard fans, I heard it was like, I want comic book accurate films like than it is now. But I need them to step away from the big 3. And the big 3 is Wolverine, Jean, and Cyclops. And even then, maybe the big 2. I don't need Wolverine and I don't need Jean. Cyclops got played in all 3 movies.
Okay. Everybody talks about Everybody talks about Wolverine and Jean. Okay, seriously. No, but if you watch those movies, Cyclops always made Wolverine look stupid.
No, he did. Cyclops had really good comebacks.
No. The first one, he said Wolverine was like, "Oh, you're gonna tell me to stay away from your girl? Well, if I had to do that, she wouldn't be my girl." And then at the end of it, stay away from my girl. I'm like, you don't need to be violent. You just just be quippy. Make the little drunk feel stupid. And then in the second one, when he came, he's like, your bike's out of gas. He's like, well, fill it up. I'm like,
exactly. Like, bro, we're not planning. But then in the third one, you pining over your dead girlfriend and she kills you immediately. Okay.
That's rough.
Yeah, that's rough, buddy.
But then in the comic books, he has an affair with Emma Frost.
I love it.
Everybody thinks that like, oh, he cheated. I was like, okay, really?
Listen, chill out about it. Jean been emotionally cheating on him since Wolverine walked into the building. So
let's not. And he can't.
Listen, somebody can only be ignored and denied or like pushed aside so much that they find it from somebody else. And I'm not saying he was right for what he did, and I'm not saying that anything like that, but I'm not saying he was right for what he did, because honestly, just break up with the person. I always believe in that. If it's a big issue, break up with the person.
Hey, no, but in this situation though, he wasn't looking for it. Like,
I know
she was chasing that.
I know, but here's the thing. You always have a choice. And either you're going to make the choice that you cheat on somebody, or you're going to make the choice that you are going to stop this.
And he did though. And he did.
I'm just saying, but you always have a choice. You have to live with the consequences of those choices. That's all I'm saying.
Hey, I walk with it. It's just really funny how it happened.
Do what you do, man. Like I said, she been cheating on him since jump though. Like because I still believe that emotional cheating is still cheating. And the moment she saw Wolverine, you was like, girl, okay, just break up with Scott then. Just
and the thing about it is like with even before then with his first wife, she kind of swooped right in and just kind of that was an easy adjustment for she was a perfect stepmom. And I think right now with her, the thing that I want to know more about Jean Grey is, how does she really feel about the first wife? Because she's been quiet a long time, and it's like, I know Petty. You know Petty. You're like, you just feel like, oh, she holding something back.
We kind of cool, me and Petty. I mean,
it's like, I just want to know. I'm curious.
No, will they ever? I don't know if they'll ever. If that's a big enough story for them to ever come out with.
I want her and Scott to actually have an issue where they just have a conversation about everything. Just talk about their entire relationship.
So you just want like a real life comic, like you want
that movie with John David Washington and what's that girl?
Zendaya.
Yeah, Malcolm Marie. Just like that.
When having conversations,
yeah. Talk about everything.
Get mad, get sad, throw stuff, then calm down, talk about it.
Yeah, like, come on. There's
honestly, can you imagine a Jean and Scott like after like a thing like that, Jean and Scott, and it's power based, and they're like she's throwing stuff around, he's blowing it up as it's flying around, and they like arguing and talking.
See, there you go. You can do a new spin on like one of those types of movies. Hey, I love. Hey, like I said, I love movies, but I also want to push the genre a little bit. I want to see what I think that type. I think that type of tone in a superhero setting will really work.
But see, me personally, I like story, I like acting, I like to see what people are made of and stuff like that. But in a superhero film, I would love to see it. Like, don't get me wrong. I think your point is very, very valid, and I would love to see it. But the masses will be like, "Where's the blow up stuff at? Where's the like?" People will be so. But it's like, but for that to happen, you have to have a plot that beckons it. You have to have a good story, a good plot that beckons it. And right now, we getting like the Michael Bay of like plots where it's just like kill them, blow them up, big explosions, and let's go. But I get it though. I would love to see something like that. Because honestly, I wouldn't mind seeing, because I wouldn't mind a better Professor X Magneto type of conversation. Because I feel like their conversations could go deeper than what we've seen as of late, even with Michael Fassbender and
James McAvoy,
and James McAvoy. I think it can go even deeper, and like I want them to like really get serious and get gritty and kind of like go there, like leave these PG-13 ratings, and like, give me a rated R, and it's not so much of this like sex and like explicit language, but it's like crazy story and adult things happening. You know what I mean?
I want to show that Magneto and Xavier are friends, because like every time in the movies we always see that like, oh, they're friends, but they kind of had a falling out. And like I want to see like when they were actually friends, because like,
I mean that's what the reboot tried to do. They gave us a little bit of that, but they said them actually being friends.
But it was only for like 5 minutes, and then it immediately went bad. Like I want, all right, Xavier's had some like baby mama drama, and I would really love to see how Magneto would be
like a friend to him.
Yeah, he'd be like
also he's made some messed up choices too, and it would be great to see like, the head of the good people got some bad in him. You know what I mean? It would be nice to see that too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and like also just me. I want to see somebody just like roast some of the X-Men. Like, just be like, I know you ain't talking. Like somebody get on Storm.
No, I see. They would need like a real live Black character in there.
No, I mean, be like Storm.
So you want to see the memes come to life then?
A little bit. I just like
it'll never happen, but
use truth though. Use true statements. Be like,
oh no, I wouldn't mind it.
Like talk about Wolverine. Say like, bro, like every time I see you in the house, I'm always wondering, why is there a drunk homeless person here?
Listen, something, or at least a woman, just to kind of like be like, listen, please don't fall in love with me, because I don't want to die, and I don't want you to die, type of thing. Like, just
or like, when's the last time you've seen your kids?
I know, right? How many you got now? How many is it?
You got 15? 3 of them. You know, one of them died, right?
Like 15 recently. Which one died?
Gabby.
Oh,
yeah, the little one, and like
nobody cares.
Like, nobody cares.
If you not, what's his name? Dakin. If you're not Dakin or like X-23 Laura, if you ain't one of them two, nobody cares. Nobody cares about you.
I'm like, Dakin, you can, man, shut up, Dakin.
Nobody cares.
Your dad doesn't care. Your dad don't love you. He forgot you existed.
But see, you know what I would love? Because there's a version in the comics, like a different universe, where him and Storm have a child.
Oh yeah.
And I would love if that could be a thing, like because I know was it Apocalypse?
No.
The whatever the roll cut one was. So I think it's before. It's after Apocalypse. Now I gotta look it up. Give me a second.
Oh, I just want to see like a family dinner at Mystique's house, like Rogue, Nightcrawler, and Gambit try to go to Mystique's house, and it's just super awkward.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would love to see that too.
That would be hilarious.
But see, that's what these new movies were doing. They were tapping on stuff and never finishing it out. And part of me was like, did y'all really think y'all was getting more movies? Like really be honest with me. Like, did y'all really think y'all was getting more movies? Because you brought in you brought in a Mystique so young that when we saw Nightcrawler, how could that be her child? Like, I know that she's way more older than what we give her credit for, but is that her kid? No. Like, come on.
And then they imply it could be Beast. I'm like, okay, all right, first of all, you got to remember, this is X-Men. They talk about genetics. So this is how genetics work. Mm-hmm. If Nightcrawler was Beast's kid, he wouldn't have a tail. He would be furry all over the place.
He would look more like a beast.
Right.
As opposed to like a creature.
Right.
Because if you think about it, the way he kind of moves is very similar to Mystique. Because if you think about Mystique from the original ones, she slithered and moved, and the way she moves is very fluid. And when he disappears, and the way he moves is very fluid.
Right. But here's the thing: I always thought that Jennifer Lawrence, she knew that was her kid, and she was like, "Yeah, I ain't talking about that.
Just gonna tuck to the side, like she."
Because I hate Jennifer Lawrence. I hate her so much. Like
I don't hate people I don't know.
Okay,
but I don't particularly care for her as an actor.
Yeah.
Because sometimes her personality as a person, from what we get to see, overshadows what she can do as an actor. And also, I feel like she's highly overrated. I think she got in an opening, like Hollywood allowed her in because they needed another white woman to take somebody's place.
She wants to be Michelle Pfeiffer in the early 90s.
Okay.
All right. All right. I don't hate Jennifer Lawrence. I just like you said, I think she's overrated.
She's overrated.
She's the reason why Dark Phoenix was so bad.
No, I'm gonna say the whole cast was the reason.
Yeah,
I don't. But see, here's the thing: I really didn't like. I didn't really mind her as Mystique if they would have played it as a Mystique that is a darker Mystique and not a Mystique that's a part of the X-Men, and she's a savior to all mutants, and Storm is in Egypt looking up to Mystique. Like, what are we doing here? And then she kind of dies a martyr, like she kind of dies a hero trying to save Jean. Like, what are we doing here? So we gonna spit in the face of Rebecca Romaine's Mystique?
She did it the best. Like, with her, you just kind of like, whoa, there's a lot going on with her. Like, and then when you saw her with Nightcrawler in X2, you were like, okay, that could definitely be her son.
Because even they had like markings on their face that was like, if not similar, close to being like at least genetically, you know what I'm saying, similar. It was, oh my gosh.
And she didn't really look, and you notice she didn't really look at him.
Again, another missed opportunity.
Right. And then when you see his dad, and you're just like, man.
You'd be like, oh. But see, that's how I felt about in Apocalypse. Wait, before I say that though, but the movie was Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
And in Days of Future Past, Storm, obviously, like they had a cut scene where Storm and Wolverine were together.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
And I was like, I've been waiting on this ever since I found out in the alternate universe they had a kid.
Oh my God. Okay. All right. I have a theory with Wolverine and Storm.
Yeah.
I think they've been friends with benefits for a long time.
I wouldn't be mad at that. I get it. I can mess that.
But they kind of realize like they can't, like, you know, if we get together, we're gonna break up.
Just won't make sense.
It's just like we're just friends who are just there.
Let's just be there for each other when we need to be there for each other. Like, honestly, I don't see that being an issue because what was it? Was it X2? Mm-hmm. When Mystique like slid into his tent.
Oh right, yeah, into his tent and like, oh God.
You know, and he thought it was Jean, and then she was like, "Is this not what you want? Well, how about this?" And he didn't say no. You feel me? She turned into Storm. He didn't say no. Yeah, and so it's kind of like.
my whole thing with Storm though is like she must have like she's perceived as a goddess, but she has some really low self-esteem. Imagine what it must be like to be second place to like Wolverine would be with you, but you're not Jean. And that was honestly, really hurt.
This is another thing too I really didn't like. They don't really establish why he likes Jean. Right?
And it's not even Jean. He's just attracted to the redhead thing. It reminds him of a woman that he used to know that wasn't
right,
but he doesn't know who she is. Like
right. So that's it. So my thing is like in the like see like in the if you don't know the comics and then you go right to the movies and you don't know that, you just like okay, he just stared at her and all of a sudden he just like where's the connection? Like to me, you lose a story. Whereas when you see reactions between him and Storm, you can see something brewing because they have this dialogue back and forth. Whereas him and Jean are just like let me check your pulse, and he's just all like, oh, you want to check my pulse? Like who am I supposed to be excited about this interaction? Like I'm confused.
That is weird.
At all, flatline, like ding, like my heart is dead. I'm just
it'd be really funny if Cyclops was hooking up with Storm behind Jean's back while Jean and Wolverine were hooking up in the movie.
Listen, you stepping into invincible territory with with my mans and the duplicate girls. Like Kate. I mean you stepping into that territory. I mean also I would feel as though that the goddess that Storm is, she wouldn't I feel like she wouldn't do that. She wouldn't betray anybody like that.
Okay. All right. You're totally forgetting at one point she was with Nightcrawler and then she just dropped him to go to Africa with the Black Panther.
But she dropped him though.
Yeah, but she didn't really give him any notice.
But she dropped him though. You feel me?
No,
she cut ties. She cut ties. But here's the thing. But why wouldn't you go to Wakanda? Why wouldn't you go to like Wakanda with somebody that you grew up with that you kind of know, as opposed to like somebody that was already like your first love? That you know what I mean? Why I would try. I would
never mentioned it though. It's like no. Imagine Nightcrawler like, hey, Storm, hey, where you going? Oh, I'm going to Africa. Oh, why? Oh, I'm going to meet up with my first love, the Black Panther. What? We've known each other for years, and you never brought that up.
Listen, it's not my fault if you didn't have these conversations. You feel me? You gotta open it. You gotta open the door to these conversations. Nobody willingly puts out they drama.
And my response to this, Storm, at one point you used to nude sunbathe. It used to fly into the air naked and just like nude sunbathe. And
which makes no sense.
We shouldn't have secrets because
which makes no sense.
Right. And like
why she tanning?
What? No, she just like I don't know. But
I know I'm not saying she tanning, but she probably soaks up the atmosphere just like anybody else. Like
right. So like
that's why she's God tier.
Like how are you gonna say that when you used to nude sunbathe?
And you gotta ask, gotta ask questions. You gotta ask questions to get answers. That's all I'm saying.
You've never mentioned it. You never even say like,
why would I?
Boyfriend.
But did he ask though?
How do you ask that? That's like saying,
are you seeing anybody? Are you affiliated with anybody? You ask these questions. Nobody's gonna outright tell you these things. Nobody. Especially if I haven't talked to this person in years, we haven't really been in contact, stuff like that. Ain't nobody coming up. My heart might have been broken. Ain't nobody come. I ain't about to volunteer this heartbreak.
But she and Nightcrawler were in a whole relationship, and then she was like, "Deuces."
It be like that though. But she said bye. Though.
Like, and I could just see Wolverine
but she didn't cheat on nobody though. She didn't have what she wasn't a mistress. She wasn't a mistress.
Yeah,
and that was the point. She wasn't a mistress.
You're absolutely right. She's never been a side chick like Emma Frost. Let's talk about that for a minute.
Listen.
Like Cyclops right now, he has a wife, he has kids, he has his family around him all the time.
His whole Omega family.
Yep.
But anyway.
But Emma is his side piece, and she's okay being his side piece. I'm like,
there are some women that are okay.
Hey, I feel like that should be open. Like if Emma was to ever give me any kind of lip, I'm like, I will not take that from a side piece.
Yes, you would if you got feelings for that side piece. You got her around for some reason.
But I'm like, hey, you're the side piece. Hey,
but listen,
like,
Emma know what she wants.
Goes home.
Listen, Emma know what she wants. Emma is a progressive woman. I love Emma. She's a progressive woman. She knows what she wants. She takes what she's going to take, and then she leaves what she don't want. I dig Emma. I dig her.
But Scott dropped her every time. She went after him, and Scott and Cyclops dropped her.
Here's the thing, though. That's her,
and she came back.
That's her choice, though. That's her choice, though.
That's what I'm trying to say. I know it's her choice.
So might be stupid, but it's her choice.
And I'm like, you know what? Like, Emma, you cool, but like, you're not even like the finest girl who's after him. I mean, there's still like frenzy, like
and
a strong black woman.
And maybe that's how his brain moves. And he's just like, I'm getting no. I ain't gotta worry about Emma. She'll come back later. You know, I ain't put her to the side. See what happens over here.
I mean, like, hey.
That's what it is.
Hey.
And some dudes are like that. They just like, I can find somebody else.
Yeah.
I get another one.
And the thing with Scott and Jean's whole marriage, that whole thing at their house, the way I always looked at it is Scott and Jean talked about it. It's like, okay, we're gonna have an open marriage. You can have Wolverine here because he's a homeless bum, whatever. And I can have.
I feel like you don't like Wolverine.
No, I love Wolverine.
Let's talk about it, because you've been calling him a lot of names. It's been a lot of name calling.
Okay, all right. I love Wolverine. Okay, I'm just not falling in love with the legend. Like he's a killer. I'm like if I ever met Wolverine in real life, I was like, if you don't, it's like you're the reason why your mom killed herself, which is true. His mom killed himself because of him.
I mean,
you just like Wolverine. Like I love Wolverine. Like he's a great character. He's a great.
But here's the thing: this is what makes people fall in love with bad characters. This is why everybody loves Loki. Because
that's my privilege.
Listen, not only are they attractive, okay. You're a guy. I'm not expecting you to be like, heck yeah, like I got this. Don't worry about it. I know attraction. I know attractiveness.
I get why Hugh Jackman's attractive. I get it. You
don't get why Tom Hiddleston is attractive. I get it. But
he's British. He has an accent.
His face is amazing. Anyway,
a punchable face. He looks like an adult Malfoy.
Stop. No, he does not. No, he does not. Malfoy. But the reason why people like the bad characters is because bad characters have layers. Because underneath it all, you kind of want to see the bad character become good, but you want to see how that journey happens. And when you get it, because for the most part, good people ain't got layers. We just good. But then when they go evil, you be like, wait a second. Because you gotta have characters with levels, which is why people like Captain America, because he went from the good old boy to being like, yo, we gotta step outside the system, to being like, yo, I'm not asking no more for permission. I'm just doing what I want to do. And everybody like, hey, Cap, like that's why everybody look Captain America, because he had levels, he had layers. Bad characters always have layers, right. Always, and it's great.
No, bad characters are great. That's why I love Magneto. Magneto's an asshole, but he's a great character.
Also, Magneto be spitting facts. He just be doing stuff. Magneto, he be spitting facts. He just do stuff in a bad way. And if we look at Michael Fassbender's Magneto, he got dealt the cards that this man has been dealt through his life.
They killed his baby.
Can you expect him? Can you expect him to go any other way but bad though? Like,
I just see
that scene always messes me up when she's like calling she's like nature based and she's calling the animals, and then the dude let the arrow go because he
got scared. He got startled or something. I don't know. Like, that was a baby.
Listen, the moment that happened, I was like, y'all about to die.
Everybody's like, and I always felt like Magneto needed a friend. Like, it's like, I was gonna say let him go, but like, man, just kill him. Like, no, bro, no, you messed up now.
But that's human nature too, because he literally saved dude's life, and y'all reported him.
I don't get. I never understood
All I've
that.
been doing this entire time has been working. Y'all see me as the funny guy. I tell jokes. I might get a beer after work, but I work. Y'all know I got a family and a child. I do my thing, all that kind of stuff. I do all that kind of stuff. I saved you. I exposed myself when I knew I shouldn't have, and I saved your life. And y'all reported me?
It's like y'all went to HR?
Bro.
Wow. Wow, Helmgeef.
Citing
really?
abuse?
I gave you a ride home yesterday, bro. Like, Ivan, for real? I officiated your wedding. What are you talking about?
I was like, my wife bakes goods for y'all, and you report me. And my child, you know what I did? See, this is why I don't have power. This is why I believe God don't give nobody powers. This is why it's all in our imagination, and we want everybody to have power. Because if that happened to me, and my husband and child died, I'd have killed every single person that I worked with in that building. I'd have found out who told, but everybody would have died along the way. And I'd have had a body count out of this world. Everybody.
You would have been a school shooter.
Listen, I would have been. Me and MJ just in the back chilling.
Oh my God.
Plotting.
No, just man, I still want mutants to be around. I would imagine myself being a mutant and just doing what.
All right, but what if you don't? What if you don't become a mutant though? What if you are? What if you like Iceman brother and you feel shady not having power?
No, man. I'd be like, you know what? I'm like, you can't be mad at it. Be like, yo, bro, you should try this.
No,
like ideas.
No, but you literally, because you will always be the side person.
Doesn't matter though.
You would be the foster brother. You would be the foster brother of Shazam, just helping him figure out.
I'm okay with that though. Like, no, it's not about me.
Are you though? Because the first thing you said was, I don't have powers. It's the first thing you said.
Yeah, but if I don't get it, I can't be mad because that's my man. Okay. That's my man. Like that means it's in proximity to me.
All right, Loki. So, that's how Loki was at first too. Loki was just like, I'm happy to be next to your brother, and then all of a sudden was like, I see an opening.
Yeah, I ain't trying to get my man killed. I'm like, bro. I'll be like, bro, you should try this with your powers. That'd be so dope. Like, okay. You can't. No,
I hope so. That's what all the villains say. That's what all the villains say in the beginning. I hope so.
No, you can't be mad at your man for being like, that's ego. That's saying like, oh, I should have it. Like, come on, that's not cool. That's like, I hope so, man. That's your bro.
Listen, I got faith in you, man. I hope so.
I have faith in myself.
I have faith in you, man. I have faith in you, man. Here's the thing. I already know I might be like, I don't think I'll be a villain, but I don't think I'll be an outright hero. I might be like an anti-hero. I might be like a Deadpool.
All right, what would be your power?
I've always been fond of telekinesis.
Telekinesis is good. Yeah.
Because telekinesis because I love sci-fi, and your powers can always expand and grow. Right. And telekinesis can branch off into a lot of things. So not only can I move things with my mind, I can move people with my mind. Eventually telepathy comes in, so I can move thoughts into people's minds, which is mind control essentially as you keep going. Right. And if I can move things with my mind, I'm a thing physically. So I can move my body. I could be able to learn how to fly or float or levitate, whatever. Like it's and then it's like if I can move my body, I can move my spirit, so I can learn how to astral project, and then I can go into the spirit world. Like telekinesis can branch off into a lot of things. Because think about it, and you could become, if telekinetically, you could become immortal, because instead of dying, you could just transfer your consciousness to different bodies, like how Professor X did. Yeah,
it was like I would. Oh man. Like I want to say I would want to be like a world, like not a terrorist, but everybody in the world would know who I am.
Wow, terrorist, yes.
No, not terrorist. I'm not hurting people. Like
terrorism.
Not a terror. No, not a terror. Like I be a figure.
No, everybody gonna know me.
Like everybody know me. Like everybody, like little babies know my name.
They say everybody know my name, and then like babies just know you for some reason. They don't realize they do. They's like newborn babies, just like, oh,
That's
It's
great.
1407. They scream out. They just don't know. It's like a Michael Jackson thing.
Oh,
Like how you just know Michael Jackson songs and
right.
you don't even understand how you be like, how did I know?
It's how do I know the words to rock with you, but I've never heard the words to rock with.
I was like,
God. Is that?
No, there's literally been like, I don't know, I can't remember the Michael Jackson song now because it's like I think I know them all now by now. But there was some Michael Jackson song I remember growing up. I was like, I don't know how I know the words, but I do. I was like, I don't get it. Was just one of those things that it was like in my brain. I was like,
it's weird. Michael Jackson songs are crazy. Like I was listening to Rock With You yesterday. For some reason, I'm like, man, this song really is a bop. Like,
listen, he got a lot of bops. It wasn't until he was getting older in age where you were like, that production value kind of down, huh, bro? I was like, okay, we ain't writing like we used to. Okay.
Oh man,
there's too many people helping you with these songs, huh?
Oh gee.
Okay.
No,
okay, sir.
But if I no seriously, if I was a mutant, I would be I'd be able to cast illusions. Like,
so you want to be like a sorcerer, essentially?
No, more like I don't want to use his name because it sounds creepy. Mastermind, where he just he just makes people just believe whatever he like.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like here's my like. So basically, I want the power of being a white woman. This is my narrative.
I'm dying. Essentially, so you kind of want like want like Wanda's powers in a way, like the reality stone type abilities.
Yeah, but I'm not making people do anything they don't want.
No. But her powers expands way more than that. I'm just saying, like, you want a form of that where you can like warp reality.
Right. And it's just like, you know what? I can do whatever I want, and I would just do.
So you kind of want to be a trickster in a way, like a Loki.
A little bit. I'm okay with it. Like, you know what? I would change my name to Mr. Nancy. Call me Anna Nancy.
That's okay.
Uh-huh. All right. Yeah.
Actually, I wouldn't mind having Vixen's totem, because to be able to take on the abilities of like any animal,
crazy.
And then you can and then the stronger you get, you can start mixing animals. Like, come on.
There's a lot of possibilities there.
Come on. And then like, that's only animals on Earth. What if she went outside of what if she went to like a multiverse, or what if she went to space and there's different creatures she would pull on? Like, there's the possibilities are endless.
Exactly. And with mine though, I would just be like, I would have like world leaders asking for my assistance, and I'd just be like Orlando Jones and Mr. American Gods. Just be like
Orlando Jones,
yeah. Like just like
yeah.
It's like he is drippy, but like he's so
poor guy.
Like
he got played on that show, but anyway.
But man,
they disrespected his character.
But we saw the show. We saw him in his glory.
We did. I just I be wanting more for my black.
I know. I like
my black people.
Get us a movie. Get us an American Gods movie that wrap everything up.
It'll never happen.
Hey. We never. There's a lot of things we never thought would happen. I didn't think they would end DuckTales on such a great level.
DuckTales. Woo.
Tell me that
that theme song slap. You hear me?
It does. But that that revival show was so good.
Never watched the revival show.
It's so good. Man.
Never watched the revival show.
Oh, it's good. They built it. They pay homage to the old stuff, and they have like.
But see, that's how you do reboots and revivals. You pay homage to the old stuff.
Yeah.
You kind of bleed some of that stuff in, and then you take it in a direction in which is a good direction to go in.
That's exactly what they did, and they had so many. They had the 10th Doctor, David Tennant played Uncle Scrooge.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they had Don Cheadle on the show. They had
it was star-studded, huh?
Oh my! I'm telling you,
star-studded. I'm gonna have to check it. I'm gonna have to check that out then.
Check that out. No. Don Cheadle was Donald Duck.
That works.
That
works. I mess with that. I mean, because if I'm being all but honest, I know they Ducks.
Yeah.
But I always thought they was black people. But that's always be the Ducks, like the Ducks are Black people.
Right.
Because of the attributes that they give them. They're always the ones down on their luck, the ones that have to get up from their bootstraps and do good stuff. Like Darkwing Duck was a vigilante. I'm assuming he was a Black man.
Right. Okay. All right.
Plus the drip, he was always in black and purple.
That's true. And also look at Launchpad. He was a guy who was just nuts. He was just crashing. He was just crashing all the time, and like nobody thought to fire him because he was the ones who was crazy enough to do all the missions they wanted to do.
Exactly. Like I always thought but he flies, right?
Yeah.
Like Black men were some of the best flyers. It's like the Tuskegee Airmen. He wore like a leather jacket. I just assumed that all ducks are African Americans.
I mean, and look at Tailspin though. The lady and her daughter. Mm-hmm. Black lady and her single daughter. Just saying.
The drip that they be having these people in, I'm not seeing that.
I'm just saying, like, all right, we all know that Jungle Book was mostly Black people. Like King Louis was Black. That was a jazz. He was if he was real, he would be a 1920s club owner who's running like numbers and prostitution.
To the back, right, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's like,
I mean, but that's what I liked about the live action Jungle Book was that King Louis was voiced by Christopher Walken.
Man,
so he had a very like mobby, like yeah. Tell me, kid. Like what he had a very that type of air about him, and I was just like, best of voice acting ever because you can't like I didn't want them to do like the voices of the original characters, but you still, for me, you still have like that sauce. You feel me? And Christopher Walken just has a way that he talks that was great because Scarlett Johansson played
Ka.
She played Ka, like the boa constrictor, and her voice is deep enough and raspy enough that is amazing.
Oh, Scarlett
just like,
oh, she's so good.
You were just like, oh, okay. No, okay, listen. I recently just watched Jojo Rabbit.
Okay.
Because we were supposed to do our podcast tonight, but people have things and it's not happening.
Sure.
But I watched Jojo Rabbit. I never was going to watch it just because one, I'm not a huge fan of Taika. Because I don't like Ragnarok. I don't like Thor Ragnarok.
Let's get into that in a minute.
We will. Because people always be like, people do not like me because I say I like.
No. I just want to explore it. There's no bias. I just want to get to the bottom of it.
Yeah, no, no problem. I wasn't really a fan of Taika because of Thor Ragnarok. So I was like, yeah. And then it was like Nazis. Yeah. Like, it was just kind of like
no Black people too. Like that was
not a Negro in sight. But anyway, it's fine. It's neither here nor there. Pretty sure if Scarlett could have played a Negro, she probably would have. But anyway.
Harriet Tubman.
Listen, don't even get me started on Harriet Tubman. But
we already know about her. She just went up the street.
Listen, don't get me started because Cynthia Erivo playing Harriet, a British woman playing a Black American. Anywho,
let's go.
That was just a vehicle to try to get her an Oscar so she could be an EGOT winner, and it failed. But anyway, I'm gonna get past that.
Okay.
So this is gonna come back. I already know this is gonna come back to bite me when I become an actor. They're gonna be like, "Look at this thing she said about." But anyway, but I stand by it. I don't care about it. I'm gonna stand by it. What was I talking about? I don't even remember now.
Scarlett Johansson and JoJo.
Okay, and JoJo. So I watched Jojo Rabbit, and everybody was talking about her performance, right? And don't get it twisted. I've never seen Scarlett do anything that's like, oh, like my mind is just blown because like for me her filmography isn't like, it's better than most, but it's not like, yo, look at the body of work. Like she doesn't have like a Chadwick Boseman type of filmography.
She's a B+ player. Like
she is, right? And she just happened to get an A+ role that put her into the stratosphere, which I'm not mad at her.
Though. I give her.
I'm not mad at her. She puts in work. I'm not mad at her. But I'm just saying, I haven't seen her in anything where I was just like, all right, like, good job, I guess. Like Nanny Diaries, good job. Proud of you. Just don't know what I'm saying.
Like you were in spirit with, you played actually this is her second time playing a Nazi.
Now here we go. But technically she wasn't though. If you've seen the movie, have you seen the movie?
Yeah, it's the Spirit.
No, Jojo
Jojo
Rabbit.
Rabbit. Oh, well, okay.
Have you seen it? Because I don't want to spoil it.
I already know everything with her.
Oh, okay.
Like,
but so you really can't call her Nazi. She was like Nazi adjacent.
But they do that in Hollywood. They always have like the one person who's like, "Oh, I'm a Nazi," but like, "Oh, no, shh, I'm a not Nazi."
But because there are people in real life that play both roles like that, so they don't die trying to help people.
I know, but like every movie can't be that. Like there always has to be like.
But it's accurate. But the reason why I like this movie was because the little boy's imaginary friend was Adolf Hitler. That's hilarious already.
And it's just like,
which is honestly just a manifestation of his own brain.
Sure.
Which is, just a manifestation of himself talking to himself.
Sure.
But the nuances in which Scarlett was playing in this movie, I was like, wait a second, ma'am. You can do stuff like this? I need you to pick better vehicles. Because she honestly made me go like, okay. Like I was proud of she had levels. It was a scene where, because you never see his father.
Yeah.
So I just assumed he died in the war and she just never told him. But you see her like yell, like her and her son are going back and forth. They're getting mad at each other. And then she's like, "Oh, you want your father? You want your father?" And she puts on like the father's jacket, and then she smears like ashes on her face for like a beard.
Uh-huh.
And she starts yelling at her son at the table. And then she's like, and she goes over and she literally has a conversation with herself, but as the mother and the father.
Okay, all right. I need to see that movie.
Oh, it's so good. Like, here's the thing. It's fresh in my brain because I watched it like maybe a few days ago, like 4 or 5 days ago. But also I could watch a movie once and it's just there.
Same thing with me. Like I've seen Kill Bill like almost 20 years ago and I only had to see it once.
No, Kill Bill is classic. Listen, Kill Bill, the Grindhouse films.
Yeah.
I love those.
Okay. Death Proof, they were whooping his ass at the end.
Deservedly so.
And also
he deserved all that.
Also, Death Proof proved to me that Kurt Russell is a great actor because he's one of those white men that you just trust right away. Mm-hmm. So when he split, you're like, wait, what? Wait,
yeah, what? You didn't see it coming. You didn't really, and that's the thing about like Robert Rodriguez, like films, especially like the ones that's not like kid films.
Yeah.
The ones that are like he actually put some thought and some cinematic like magic into, is that like he has some twists and turns. They might not be super twisty, super turny, but they like just enough you to be like,
that's weird, or like
didn't see it coming. Yeah, exactly. Like I didn't see that coming. That's crazy. But if it's like Spy Kids or something like that, you're like, okay, I know what's about to happen next. But other than that, like his other films are like, you're like, okay, and they're dark and they never start the way they end.
Right. Like
they always. Oh, it was so good because I love Planet Terror.
What was that one movie he did with Quentin? From Dusk Till Dawn.
From Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah.
That movie was 2 different movies. It just like when I swear that freeway was a metaphor of going like, okay, we've gone from crime drama, now we're going to go into horror stuff.
Yes. But see, I need more people taking risks like that in movies because everything's been so like the same. And I'm not talking about like MCU superhero films because I need everybody to lay off the MCU. The MCU is bringing me a lot of joy in these trying times of COVID and pandemic awareness.
True.
Okay. So the MCU has been saving lives out here in my book.
Yeah, absolutely.
I need everybody to chill out. Just start making good movies and let people go see them and stop crying about them.
See, the thing about it is that Hollywood, they're taking a hit. They're making movies for 15-year-olds in China, and it's hey, they're trying to get their money, which you think they would have already made their money back, but whatever. I don't know the business like that.
Yeah, I don't run the world like this, so I just stick to my little comic book TV film knowledge, and I keep moving.
Hey, like, but movies out here, aside from the MCU, the comic book movies, I think we're in a golden age of television. Television.
No, we are. Television is great.
They're movies now. Like movies.
They are.
Movies have to bring
The value.
else.
Yeah, the value production on like TV shows now is like crazy. Like, and like the ideas that they're coming up with, and I love that they're coming back out with like family-based shows, because I feel like we still need those, because This Is Us.
Yeah.
One of the greatest television shows of all time. I don't care what anybody say. Their representation of
emotionally manipulative. I stay away from it. I stay away.
That TV show, the representation of not only a Black man raised by white people, but a Black man who eventually has a Black family. True. Bar none, one of the best representations ever. Bar none.
Oh no, I get that. It's just like, I don't want to cry all the time. I will cry during big fish.
I need them tears sometimes. Listen, they was hitting on issues with me that made me and my mom have conversations. Now I know you a good TV show. Mm-hmm. If you open up some deep-seated stuff between me and my mom that I never talked about, but now I feel comfortable talking about it. Like, come on.
That's cool. That's cool. That's really cool. But
come on, I love it.
Like, but also, like, all right, if we're going with good TV shows that make you feel like that, Ted Lasso.
I have not seen Ted Lasso. Okay. Everybody keeps telling me to watch.
Okay.
I don't have Apple TV. Give me your Apple TV. Log in.
Oh, got you. I got you.
Let me get that, and I'll watch it, because I've been wanting to see Ted Lasso because I love Jason Sudeikis. So I want to see it.
Okay, there's this one character who's having, like, he's a jerk. He's one of those jerky players, but he's really talented. But like earlier in the season, you find out that he has issues with his dad, and then like in the season finale, the dad comes in and he's just like talking trash in front of his team, like really bad, and like the team, the coach eventually kicks them all out, but like, that part where like you're just kind of like, you're trying to keep yourself together because that you're gonna cry. The coach went up to the guy, gave him a hug out, and I swear I was bawling my eyes out. I'm like, that's
because you was that person and you wanted that hug when they were somebody and you never got it, but the TV show gave it to you. It's just like,
I'm tearing up just thinking about it.
You living it. Listen, man, I love TV. I love like not only do I want to be the person that brings characters to life, I want to be the one that writes characters that people resonate with.
Exactly. Oh my God.
You know what I mean? I want to do both of those. Like, that's what I know I've been put on this earth to do, because I don't like nothing else.
Oh man,
I don't like nothing else.
Okay, all right. If you had a TV, all right, pitch me a TV show that you would want to do. I got one too. Like, we both love TV. I got some shit.
One TV show I would like to do is, I would like to do a Black version of Freaks and Geeks.
Oh wow. Okay.
Because a lot of TV shows that I grew up with are white TV shows.
Right.
That shows me the white way, the white life, the white, every now and again it'll be something that I can resonate with. It's like, ooh, that kind of happened to me. I can kind of get that. But here's the thing, it don't have to be, and I'm not saying like, I hate using the word ghetto in conjunction with Black people, but it doesn't have to be like Black, overly hood, overly Black.
Yeah.
Because I went to an all Black school, but we wasn't in there like, yo, MTV Raps. And we wasn't that. That's not how a lot of my friends talk. That's not how a lot of us move and do things. But our home life was different from the one or two white people that were in our school.
Yeah.
So how we saw high school was different from how they saw high school. And so I would love to bring like a Freaks and Geeks type, because at the end of the day, we all kind of feel the same. And there are Black people that feel outcast amongst their own people.
Right.
Just like white people do, just like Asian people do, just like, you know what I mean? I would love to have a Black version of Freaks and Geeks.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay, I got one. This is mine. All right, basically it would start off with this dude who loses his job and his girlfriend within the same hour, but he eventually gets the devil as his roommate. like the devil's like, I'm retired. I don't want to do that life anymore. I just want to chill, hang out with you. That's right. So basically kind of like a Wilford situation. And we get the devil just like spitting different perspectives on religion, saying ew, the way y'all celebrate Christmas is weird. It's like a rape. It's like a rape victim who gives their attacker a card. Like, why would you just stuff like that? Like, breaks down like just he brings a perspective that like he's not human. Like,
right.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, I get what you're saying.
Just like he just be a dick. Like he's like, why are you here? Like, what do I call you? Well, you can call me the Lord of the Underworld. And the guy would go like, or you can get out of my house.
Or you can leave.
Right. Like,
and I don't have to call you anything.
Right.
So you can
go.
Like,
you know what? I'm good.
Yeah. I like that. See, I like, comedy. I like comedy. I like drama. I like, because I've always wanted to do like a movie about like, it's been a couple of movies that I've wanted to do, and then Hollywood did them.
Yeah.
And I was like, how dare? But I'm gonna still do my movie, because the movie Colombiana, I pretty much had that same idea, but it was a Black woman.
Yeah.
And instead of like Spanish, like Latino people that she was like, her family was like, Dominican, like Latino, like that. Her family lived in like Japan.
Okay.
And her father was like, it was rare for like a Black man to be like caught up in the Yakuza.
Yeah.
And then her parents got murdered that way.
Yeah.
And she got taken into the Yakuza at a young age and raised as an assassin.
That's dope.
Like, I had that idea and like I wrote it down and everything. And then 5-6 years later, Colombiana came out. And I ain't never told nobody the storyline, but it lets me know that I was like on the right track.
Right.
I had an idea for a movie where it was split screen and you saw this person living two different versions of their life.
Uh-huh.
Because you know how they always say, like, what if you made a left turn instead of a right turn? Your life would be totally different or something. Yeah. Yeah, like your life would be totally different. So I had an idea of you literally seeing a person like living two different lives. Like, this person walks out of the same apartment, but one goes left, one goes right, and you see how their life goes.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Yeah.
Then ABC came out with a TV show called No Ordinary Joe, where they're showing this guy living three separate lives, like three different like fates that could have happened. And I was just like, jeez. But it lets me know that I want to write.
No, right. Like, you're on it. You just need to get there.
I need to get there. I need to be in a place where I can like, somebody can listen to these ideas and I can be on the forefront of these things. But I was just like, how dare you guys? Like, but now I have an idea for a movie, which, since I'm telling you this out loud, somebody gonna take it and my phone can hear me. Who Facebook messaging you?
That's my buddy.
I know that call. I get those calls all the time. I know those calls. I have this idea because I love fairy tales, and I love like the grim fairy tales, like those like dark fairy tales. So I wanted to do a switch up of the Goldilocks and the Three Bears.
Yeah.
So I wanted it to be that instead of Goldilocks breaking into the Three Bears' homes, these three bears break into her home.
Oh wow!
Right, but the three bears, right? But you found out that the three bears aren't essentially bears; they're actually humans, but they're shapeshifters.
Oh wow!
Right?
Okay.
Right? I'm with like skinwalker, skin changer, which you're gonna call it, like shapeshifters.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm still working out the plot, like the details of this. But what happens is, Goldilocks fends them off, like one gets away or something like that, like maybe the baby bear gets away, she kills the parents, the baby bear gets away.
Yeah.
And what she does is essentially like a Charlie's Angels type thing, and she creates a network of Goldilocks, which is women that like hunt down these shapeshifters throughout time.
Oh wow, that's cool.
And throughout time, and I'm still working on the plot of like how do you start it, how do you end it type of thing. But that's what the it would start off with like very old timey Hansel and Gretel-y looking time. And then this woman create like every generation, and it's from this generation, like she brings in people, like all her daughters that grow up
are all in this line.
Are all in this line, are all Goldilocks. Okay. That make sure that people are protected from the three bears, or the bears, which are these shapeshifters.
That's dope. Okay, all right, I got one for you. This one will be kind of a TV show.
Okay.
All right, the story starts with this guy who like you think like, oh my god, this guy is about to die, he's about to be like killed by a serial killer or something, but like and he gets in, like it goes through, but like he lives, like the police the paramedics find him in time, and he's he gets placed in witness relocation and put in this little suburb. But what he doesn't know is that the four other families in the suburb are all practice ritualistic sacrifice, and they're all like different denominations. Like one is like your traditional like white supremacist, like just scary. They want to control everything. They're praying to their god. Another one is like a Mayan one. Another one is like a more nature burst, like more nature. And then there's another one that's like, I'm not sure what type of Asian representation it is yet, but it's not so bad, but it's not like, this guy, he finds out through the gardener, who we actually find out he's the gardener is like an angel demon.
I knew he was gonna say that, but okay, yeah.
He's there to make sure that none of these families really complete the sacrifice. He's like he's a deterrent. Like, but they don't know that. They don't know.
Right, he's the gardener, so he's like, he could be in their backyard, he could be doing stuff, he could be all around, so he wouldn't pay no mind to him and stuff like that. So
exactly. So he tells the guy, he's like, listen, I don't want to alarm you, but because you survived a ritualistic sacrifice, if any one of these people were to kill you, instantly they win. So you gotta keep your head down. And the guy, he finds out that these people are like, at least one of them are part of the order that tried to kill him, because he sees like a symbol or like a picture or something that he remembers from back then, and he just like, he naturally freaks out. He's like, I can't be here, okay? And he's like, why don't you move? With what? I put all my money in here. I'm broke. Right. Like, so he's like, so he's stuck.
You like dark humor. You like dark tales with like humor sprinkled around it.
Dark humor is funny.
No, it is. I'm not knocking you. It's just an observation. Just when I'm observing when you're like telling like stories you like or things you like. Okay.
It's just like, I want to like show how there's different types of families. Like, there's one, like the white supremacist family. Like the family are kind of afraid of, like, they all seem to live in fear, but you can't tell which one is the abuser. And I want to kind of play a trope on that. Like, you remember season 4 of Dexter, when they brought in
never seen Dexter.
Okay. They brought in this one character who had this perfect family, but he was a serial killer and he was terrorizing his family. I want to bring that kind of thing, but you don't know which one of the family is doing it.
That actually happened on an episode of Charmed.
Oh.
Season 4 of Charmed. Because during season 4, they had a new sister, Paige.
Yeah, I remember.
Paige worked as a social worker.
Yeah.
And everybody thought that it was the father that was beating the kid, but it was actually the mother.
Right.
And it was a whole thing. He was like, I'm not going to let you do this to our son anymore. I was like, wait a second, this is interesting.
like she was beating on him? She was beating on him?
Like, what? Like she was beating the kid, and everybody thought it was the father. And the father was like letting it happen because he was kind of like trying to protect everybody and everything. It was a good story. So I can see that being the thing. Yeah, I can see that work.
So like, yeah, that's the way I'm kind of, so like, I got the first season kind of put together where like the guy kind of like, the guy ends up doing something kind of stupid. He ends up hooking up with like one of the wives, like just on a hook. He didn't know it was her. It was just like, oh yeah, like,
yeah, okay.
Just like, and the gardener's really part of me. He's like, why would you even do that? Like, just like you don't sleep with anybody in your neighborhood.
Well,
Like,
maybe if eventually he starts to like sway some people.
Oh yeah, that
you know, to
yeah,
like let's not end the world, maybe.
yeah. Like
You know,
I come up with the concept in my head, and like I come up with the the objectives, like what I want to happen. Season 2, things would have to change. Like somebody, they would have to find out about him, and like something's going on. Like
maybe he gets blackmailed. Maybe he's like, you know, they use him to his advantage or something like that. Like I can see that happening. I have like I write like fan fiction and stuff like that, so I have like all these ideas that I can eventually turn into like my own type of movies. And just
I want to hear them.
Remove like, okay, like you ever see Supernatural?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, Supernatural is amazing.
Okay, the first 5 seasons. I have actually I feel like first 5 seasons are they're meant.
Right.
Because Eric Kripke only meant for those first 5 seasons to be, that's it. He wanted to end after the first 5.
Right.
After the 5th season. But you know, people wanted it to keep going. So I'm like, that's fine. And I still don't have a problem with the rest of the seasons. They wane kind of a bit because it's you just be like, every time they die, you be like, but they coming back. And so it's like you can't believe that they're dying. So like, you know,
they don't have any friends. Like they did.
It's only them 2 and Bobby, and then Bobby died.
And I was like, man, they can't have one black friend. Like,
listen,
no black friends.
Dean had a black girlfriend, like a black girl he liked in like season 1 or 2, and then she dipped out.
Hey, she was smart.
I think they killed Rufus. I don't really remember.
They killed that one. They killed that one FBI agent who was hunting them, and then he figured it out, and then he got murked. I think it was by the Yellow Eyes. Hello?